Hello, my name is Georgia, and we're here with another IATEFL Live. I'm really happy to have with us Cristina Gultekin.
Yeah,
Cristina, thank
that's
you.
right. That's right. Your lovely pronunciation. Yes, yes,
Thank you,
perfect.
Cristina, for
Yes.
teaching me how to say her last name.
Yeah,
You did a very good
Gultekin.
job.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Cristina.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first IATEFL?
Well, it's not actually. I'm with the IATEFL Teacher Training and Education SIG. So I've been involved in IATEFL for some time now. But, like with the pandemic, it's like the first time. I think it's like the first time for all of us here today. Yes,
that is true. That's
yes.
true. And how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it feels amazing. So I've met so many people I know. I've met people I haven't seen in years. So it's absolutely fantastic. So it's like you go from one session to another and you bump into someone. It's like, yes, hi, how are you? How have you been? So it's absolutely fantastic to be back. And it's so good to see people face to face. And even if we have, the social distancing rules, it's kind of like, we can just, say hi and give
the elbow bump.
the elbow and so on. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. It's good to be back. It's good to have the face-to-face conferences. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Last year, IATEFL was online, so it was good as well. But being face-to-face is always, better.
It's a different experience,
Yes.
isn't
Yes.
it?
Definitely.
So, Cristina, tell us a few things about your ELT background.
Right. So I have a BA in English and French and an MA in TESOL and a few certificates, training certificates and so on. I've been teaching for 22 years and I'm located in Turkey. I'm actually Romanian by origin and I've been living in Turkey for 15 years now. Yeah.
Lovely. Which part of Turkey?
Well, in the south, close to the Syrian border. I live in Gaziantep. I work at the School of Foreign Languages, Gaziantep University. And opposite to what many people think, it's quite a safe place with nice people. And we are doing lots of good things over there. Yeah.
And so how did your IATEFL journey begin and how did you end up getting involved with the SIG?
Oh, well, yeah. So first, you become a member of IATEFL and then you attend conferences, you attend webinars, you attend online events, and then you want to learn more. So you want to get involved and you want to help the community you are part of. So I felt as my responsibility to be part and help the community of teachers, there in that part of Turkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was a slow process because at the beginning it's kind of like, am I good enough, to be part? Yes, everyone is good enough and everyone can contribute actually to the development of education. So IATEFL is welcoming and there is no any discrimination against, like any background or any teachers coming from any part of the world. So I find it as being quite inclusive. So there was a call for volunteers. And I just applied.
Lovely.
And yeah, lovely. Yes. So many people ask me, so how did you get involved? Yeah, and that's a very good question, actually. So I think that everyone can get involved. Yeah. And the more you get involved, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more you want to help the community you are part of. So that's absolutely fantastic. That's a fantastic, reward. So yeah.
Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree. We're going to get back to the volunteering in a bit.
Yeah.
But first, I would like to ask you about your presentation.
So,
are you presenting at the conference?
Yeah, tomorrow at 4:15, if I remember well. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's at 4:15. Yeah, it's actually raising and empowering learners with social responsibility because the future is today. And I think we've seen this in the past years, so we can't really wait. And as educators, we think that pretty much everyone thinks like us, and we are involved in volunteering and helping, in various ways to save the planet, but it's not like that. So I think that we need a sustainable way in which we can train our learners to become more responsible. At one point, I was teaching a class and I asked my students if they volunteered. And they said that, they didn't up to that point. I'm talking about young adults, by the way. And I asked them the reason for not doing so. And they said that they were not given opportunities or they didn't know how to. So then I realized that there was a gap. right? So there was something that needed to be filled. So we started slowly talking about this and how you can feel fulfilled. So it's not just about working and being paid like with money, but working and helping others, which brings actually happiness. And this is something that makes us happy. So it's not about, like the physical positions or anything like that. It's getting involved and helping the community around you. And in this way, you are actually happier, and you know that you contribute, to the society. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the term socially
Responsible learners.
learners.
Yeah.
So how can a teacher practically in class
Yeah.
establish this spirit to the students? How can we do that?
Yeah. Well, it was a few years ago when Cambridge came up with a life competencies framework, and I think that came at the right time. Now, I think that this has been around, in ELT for so many years, but I came across this framework, and it's so well organized. So it's actually divided for pre-primary, we have primary, we have secondary, we have higher education and at work, with a specific can-do statements that are actually attainable, and with examples that the teachers can implement in their classes. So it's really, really open, and anyone can use it. So there are lots of examples of activities that could be used in the classroom. Yeah. And later on, I will actually touch upon service learning, and which is more with higher education, and it's kind of a credit-based educational. Yeah. And I will try to make a connection between these two, like the Cambridge Life Competencies Framework and service learning. And then I will talk a little bit about what Abbott said in 1996, I think, I remember. Okay, I hope I remember well. Yeah, when he said that actually higher order thinking skills are acquired by direct experience, and it's not just by, learning a thing in the classroom. So we actually need to go outside and do things. But then I will give an example of an activity with the stages, with these stages, with pre-reflection, and then researching, and then presentation, evaluation, and then reflection again. Yeah. So these are mainly the things that I'll be talking about in my presentation, in my talk tomorrow.
Do you think that we as teachers add reflection in our classes and in our lesson plans?
Reflection is something that we've been talking for so many years, but it's interesting that it's the topic of many talks nowadays. So it's been like 2 years. I see that at conferences, reflection is part of this, and I'm absolutely happy. We do it at all stages, definitely, and after we teach a lesson, but it's not just when we teach, right? Or after we teach, when and after we teach, obviously. But we can integrate it, as I said, at the end of projects, at the end of social activities, and then we draw conclusions, and then we do things better next time. So yeah, it's actually essential.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And I would like to know if the people at home agree if this is important, if reflection is important. So please write in the comments below whether you think that reflection is important and what you do in your classes to encourage reflection. And now,
lovely. Yeah.
Lovely. And going back to your presentation a little bit, I've read that you are going to show some engaging tasks to empower our students.
Okay.
Can you give us an example, just a sneak peek, without revealing too much?
Tomorrow. You'll see all of this tomorrow. I just want to tell you very, very briefly and generally that I will give examples on how we can empower our learners to become more responsible learners. For each of the levels, so in primary, in secondary, and in all the other levels up to at work, the topics of the projects, be them reducing the carbon footprint, or be them helping with water crisis, or whichever. They should be related and generated by the learners. So the brainstorming stage is very, very important. So involving the students in the projects and letting them come up with ideas of projects and then narrow them down to one and then going and working on that. This is making them more responsible, and this is it's their own, and they own the project. So it's not something given by the teacher, but it's actually they think it's theirs. So they feel more responsible in, of course, conducting it.
Yes, definitely. Lovely. So, Cristina, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And before we go, I would like to know, can you give me one adjective that describes how you feel now that you're in IATEFL?
I wouldn't say the very common happy, but it's like a rebirth. Yeah, it's not an adjective, but I feel like I'm, it's like a rebirth. I'm back again in face-to-face conferences, and these few days have been absolutely wonderful, and I'm looking forward to attending, the following days too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's an amazing experience. I totally recommend it for other people too, when they have the chance. I know it's not easy to travel yet. Yes.
I like how you said yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm very positive, and I think that we need to keep positive, and we need to be working and having the mindset that we can achieve and we can actually get over all the obstacles that we have, whichever they are, personal or professional.
That is true. Well, Cristina, thank you very much.
I thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope to see you again.